Hey guys, Rex Easley here. I just got off the NASCAR circuit to come on this ghost train ride. And have you ever wondered what would it be like to pour on a skull? And no, I am not Jeffrey Dahmer, although Dahmer was a good Netflix special recently. I got a skull right here. Let's see what we can do.
Well, you'll have to excuse my alter ego there. Although in light of my recent car accident, I'm not sure if Rex is my alter ego or if I'm the alter ego. I'm Lance, and thank you for joining me on this special edition of the Acrylic Crazy Train, the Acrylic Ghost Train. And it's 9 amazing fluid artists, and I'll have links to their videos in my description box. Make sure you check out everybody's videos. I am pouring over a skull. The skull that you have seen is actually a plaster cast of a clay skull that I sculpted in college in art school. We had to sculpt a skull from a real skull in class, and then you had to create a plaster cast for it and then cast it in plaster. So that skull has been with me for a good long time. And I decided that I wanted to pour over it and make maybe a piece of art out of it. So anyways, this is what I'm going to do, and as you can see there, I have put my black base down, and I'm going to get a 2-for-1 out of this. I'm going to pour through the kitchen strainer, and I have affixed it with a push pin to keep it in place so it doesn't go flying off. And I'm going to pour through the kitchen strainer and rotate it around and hopefully get some cool designs, and then hopefully get a cool design on the 12x12 wooden cradle board that I have down there. I really like the design that I'm getting so far, but what you see me doing now is I'm making another layered cup, because I'm gonna have to pour a little bit more kind of in a free manner and a little bit more kind of in a freestyle manner because of the 3D shape of this skull. So I'm gonna just kind of have to get creative with kind of doing almost like a straight pour randomly all over the skull now and see what kind of designs I can get. I do really like the random pours that are happening off the sides of the skull, like kind of in 4 areas. They're pretty neat looking. And now my paints are just mixed with regular Floetrol and maybe a little bit of water to thin, but I don't even think I had to add any water or anything. So yeah, what you're seeing here now is a very simple recipe as far as my paints go. And I will list all of my paints in the description box, and I'm actually, I think, going to do a YouTube short that will connect to this video where you could actually see exactly how my paints were mixed if that's something that you're really interested in. Now, if you're finding this video fun, informative, or maybe a little entertaining, please subscribe to my channel, and when you do, ring the bell so you'll be alerted when I upload new content, and give me a thumbs up. It would be greatly appreciated. Now, I'm having to wet the underneath surfaces of the jawline and like the back of the skull in order to get the paint to flow around it and actually move through those areas. And when you have something that's that 3D that you're pouring over, these are some of the things that you have to worry about. And now I'm taking it off, and we'll look at that design. It's very, very cool. I love what that did, and kind of how the pores, you know, these different pores from different angles hit the cradle board and made these different pools. Just really, really neat looking. And I decided to pour another cup though, and to do more of like a straight pour / ring pour into the center. And I have some fire opal in there, and some pearl amaranth red, and actually some Pebeo blue black. And that blue black ends up making a gray that is really neat looking within this pour. And this is not my usual color palette, and I tell you, a friend of mine, Gretchel from Ingle Art Vogues, if you haven't checked out her channel, please check her channel out. She did some gorgeous straight pours using a color palette like this. This is not my usual color palette, but I kind of took a note from Gretchel here and tried this color palette because I thought it goes well with fall, and it goes well with kind of the Halloween theme, and I think this is really beautiful. Now I'm really loving the design that this is making, and now we're just going to try to stretch some of this paint off, and we're going to try to stretch some of the design out. I don't want to lose everything I got from the skull, but I do want to stretch out that middle and then hopefully work it off. What I like to do is to kind of try to work it off and not be too symmetrical. I don't want the bullseye of that center to be dead center in the canvas. I like things to have a little bit of asymmetry with these types of pours when you have like a straight pour / ring pour. Just a personal preference, but I do like where I get it and kind of how I get the paints poured off and tilted off, and I get enough paint off so that I won't have cracking or, you know, crazing. So that's really what you're trying to do too, is to make sure that you do get not only the image opened up, but some of the paint off, so that you don't end up having the cracking that can occur when you have too much paint on the canvas. Now I really like my black areas that you see that were kind of highlighting the edges, and so I had lost that kind of on that bottom left corner there, and so I wanted to put it back in with a popsicle stick, because you can always do this. If you see something like that that you really like, you can take your popsicle stick, take a little bit of that paint, and kind of follow along the curve of the pour, and voila, I have some of that black back into the composition, and now it's a little bit more balanced. And I'm getting you a little bit closer in, and you can kind of see that straight pour. I'm really loving that center and these beautiful colors together. The amaranth red, there is a little bit of a white flash is in there, and then a regular white, and the fire opal, and there's some Pebeo iridescent rich gold mixed with DecoArt 24 karat extreme sheen gold, and it makes just a gorgeous gold. And I'm really liking the way that additional pour has turned out, and then I still have my unique kind of interesting pours from the skull on the sides that are kind of framing it. Now you can really see the beautiful sparkle of some of my metallic paints on my skull. I really like the way this is coming out and the way the design of this pour looks on the skull. It's just really, really beautiful and unique, and I really like how it kind of gives it a southwestern feel because of this color palette, and it's really just kind of beautiful, and with all those beautiful sparkly colors like the fire opal and the gold that you can see in there, and even some of that blue black, the Pebeo is peeking through on the forehead. I really like that area too, that design that it created. And here you can see the beautiful sparkle and the really cool lines that the straight pour has, and even the things that were poured off of the skull there, just very different, a very different look, and it really kind of contrasts and highlights that straight pour in the middle there with the beautiful lines and kind of cool looking fingerling and cell formations that happen. And I love the way that center looks. It's just a really beautiful kind of fluid looking pour. Up before me was Shannon Baxman of Shanby Fluid Art. If you didn't see her video, please go back and check that out. And after me, bringing up the rear and being our caboose for this event, is Tony Pender, Mr. Hippy Dippy Painter Man. Please check his video out as well. I'll have links to all of the artists participating videos. And I wanted to thank Cy Frost of Frosty Eye Candy, Darren of Venom Fluid Art, and Christy, Creations by Christy, for putting this event together and for reaching out to me and letting me be a part of it. This has been a really, really fun Halloween themed ghost train, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. Please come back and visit me again soon for some more fun pouring together.